I will also say just this phenomenon probably even started with Jordan Peterson. And so, and the interesting thing is I personally believe that the Lord raised up Jordan Peterson to speak to an entire generation in a way that the church either could not or has not, in a way to advocate for himself without even him realizing it. But Andrew Tate is an interesting shift because Jordan wasn't angry in his expression of these things. He was measured. He was coming from a fatherly perspective, and there was opportunity for an entire generation to be fathered who is fatherless. Men that are fatherless were flocking to Jordan Peterson and to his encouragement to bear the yoke of responsibility, take on the yoke of becoming a fierce man, and all of these the core aspects that are good about Andrew Tate's message. He actually was carrying that through, and it seemed like we were on a solid trajectory. But what was interesting when Andrew Tate came along is he revealed a very deep wound and the anger of young men and the hurt in young men, because his message better caters to the pain that a young man feels in his rejection by women, rejection by society, rejection, just all out. You're not fit and not good. And it speaks to that deep place of, well, I'm going to go at myself and I'm going to overcome myself and I'm going to be the best version of myself and screw you all. And Jordan Peterson wasn't speaking to that message. His was a lot more tempered. And I think it's actually the church could learn a lot in how he messages and how he speaks, and even in his braveness, in his courage to even approach these conversations. But also we need to answer that deep heart wound that's there, that's causing young men to lash out and to draw from a person like this. Because when you do hear Andrew Tate, you can hear the undertone is that he was at one point rejected. He was at one point treated very poorly by women in his life. He was at one point seen as weak, all of these things. And he overcame that in the strength of his own arm. And so as a result, he's very narcissistic and proud. Whereas there is this two contrasts, and both of them are worldly voices. But I think the Lord is using both of them because the church has not been in this space at all, it seems.
Yeah.
I think that last statement you made, sorry, Nathan, but I think that last statement you made is something that we ought to really keep in mind, is that the Lord will raise up someone in a place where the church is absent. Yeah. And I feel that, and it won't always be pretty. It won't always be, the way that we would, I wouldn't do it that way. Well, the reason that he's doing it is because we didn't do it.
Wow.
So it's,
that's so
you know
good.
what I mean? And so it's like, I think because I think we're still in the context conversation. I think that part is also something like a staple of this conversation is like, look, where there's a gap, God cares more than man. And so God will often use a voice that's already been drilling at something to expose something where the church has not raised up someone to do so. So I think the thing is that when we see an issue as men, especially as Christian men with the answer, we ought not hold our cards to ourselves. We ought not, hesitate where there's a need, because as we can see, the world will, or God will raise up someone, or the world will raise up, or however you want to put that, someone will come with an answer.